This one is called Gentrification is Recolonization. Now, I'm a product of institutionalized genetics, born into a world that is unapologetic and not sympathetic to admit it, a struggle enough not to regret it. They tell us just to forget it from the history like no one even meant it, but who out there do you know would even let it? Now, behind these doors of being trapped in the world with the children of these explorers, where they let them be the drawer shopping and own the best stores, go on tours, fill their drawers, take the last s'more, and have the nerve to wear a headdress on a dance floor, and then claim property of the climb beds of these ancient shores of this social experiment created for the banker's merriment, a byproduct of Victorian loan schemes and gold rush dreams of embarrassment in an amoral world where rape was barely considered sexual harassment. This is the 1850s, am I lying? Not really. It was a foreign land built upon us. Beyond hope, just floras and faunas, traded like animals like piranhas or salmon in tidal pools, hot like saunas, and wherever the pleasure went. I mean, had to have been around the times of our skulls and their measurement. Sorry, I think I just started being really racist. So the racism never ends, kids. And so wherever the pleasure went, had to have been around the times of our skulls and their measurements, encouraged to treasure it and for telling us to forget to weather it. Now, I am not religious, but the cross I am forced to bear, it is dark and it is vicious. The circus thumps on up there and it is quite repetitious. The ignorance is like a genie with unlimited wishes. And this is living with families shattered like the past never mattered. Falling far from family trees ever scattered. Remnants of my ancestry looking tattered behind glass cases and spaces with security guards to an oasis of connection to historical bases. Acting hidden right in our faces. Feeling separated as races, displacements, moldy res houses as unfinished basements. Classified genocide, now accepted homeostasis. Born into traumatized bloodlines, socialized to tempered, protected societal archetypes of systemic racists. So from this point in time and space, it's the being that I embrace. It's for whom I take their place and try not to disgrace. A legacy not to deface against a system built to erase it. It's a hereditary responsibility, not a privilege. Meant to respond with ability. Humility, not futility, turning your resources to utility. It's an alchemy. Painting these walls with images. Using words to build villages. Ancestral stages and pillages to villainous crimes and spillages. DNA marketed where darkness is. Run amok with the heartlessness. Commercial sale of bones and heirlooms from the canyon to where the people of the marshes live. Fast forward to them turning us to narcissists. Worshipping mirrors and artists with. Shape-shifting outfits of artless with. Farces of marksmanship, marked with the dark parts of these partnerships, sparked with the visions of warped departments of compartmentalized emotional benchmarks we hit. By genetically connecting to feeling selected, by generations of colonially infective initiatives undetected, by generally publicizing narratives protected, by generationally ostracizing political directives directed, by gene pool policies placing us as pariah inspected, by genome splitting governmental doctrines injected, by generic-looking, bullshitting doctors feeling indebted, by gentrification, hipsters the new missionaries of invention. So by, and really why should I let bygones be bygones, whether a zygote or an icon, selling lifestyles through shaming and tight jeans and gaming, self-deprecating and naming, into awkwardness framing, into self-esteem gleams of material ownership and naming, into a style now worn by everyone, trying to tell me that's not a cloning archetype now reigning on your individuality. You see, we're in an unceded territory full of gated communities, separated by culture and income to kingdom, and we've been known since potlatch bands, forgotten clans without a smallpox immunity. I can't afford my city, can't afford my style, can't afford my struggle, and I've asked myself, is it really worthwhile? I've been forced out of culture, forced out of economical Rome. I'm a pillar of a community where I cannot afford a home. Sense of humiliation enraged by institution, a dragon's accumulation, and I'm not asking for restitution, okay? I don't need handouts. But for me to stand here and give this oration, sure, Power for performance and creative formation of thoughts and expression, in correlation to understanding indigeneity and of being First Nations, reversing the universe's idea of our existence in creation, challenging the ideas of what art can be and persistent with narrative relation. And I'm sure there's pedagogy there somewhere, and some sort of curatorial classification, and an okay from somebody else somewhere, and maybe some frustration. All right? But as we package the past and we sell it as masks and an identification, our regionally skinned and hung cultural digestion and appropriations, alongside gentrified and commercialized vehicles for poverty's glorifications, an open drug market, serving agencies, serving sufferings, monetization, missing and murdered, not convincing for further inquiries or investigations, and a genetically modified racism through their tourism and product placements. And all of this piled upon us here, and I still haven't once yet mentioned reconciliation.